bastard. All right, who wants to give me the recap? Oh boy, I love that.
So previously,
Chrome, I think it's
time.
Oh god, my god.
It's
Finish this off, Chrome.
paint me an image.
all right.
Paint me an image, Crow.
So we
Yeah.
start off the day with Marlowe getting high, and then he just left to go somewhere. Telry is in a quite energetic spirit because he has a dream. Oh boy, this is good. He has a dream, guys. We gotta go find wherever Marlowe went, so we said a goodbye to the Toe Kingdom. We were told about some Druid stones. They should probably get that looked at. That doesn't sound too good. Marlowe starts placing his stone inside strange circles, and we met a weirder version of himself, I guess, and a showdown between two weird people happened with words. She gave an acorn, a blue sick ribbon. Telry was sucking off some rock, and then bunch of fade guys came up and started beating us down, and buried some people with it too. Yeah, that's it.
Riveting. 1000%. Would. Oh, whoops. Whoa, why did it reset everything?
Vincent Van Gogh verbal imagery.
What the hell just happened? Oh, okay, there we go. Yeah. I called this fight, right? I'm not losing my mind.
yeah.
Okay.
Do you want us to destroy that last Verdant Knight?
Nah. Deleted. All right. In the aftermath of the battle, the party has recovered somewhat, and you guys can pick up where you left off. I have something to tell Telry.
okay.
Oh boy. Now that all of the Fae have been defeated trying to protect the stone that you touched, I need you to roll for me a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Let me see here. Hey.
Okay. All right. The energy has gathered within the centralized pillar, as it was called to do so by your touch. Battle and your own wisdom and your own willpower have allowed you to shake off the tendrils of chaos that lie in wait just beneath your skin, pulsing in your blood. You have a choice, Telry. You can release the mana back into the stones, or you can take it all for yourself and the glory of a Lock-in High.
Oh, I need this for me and for the future, so I'm taking it.
Good. Alrighty then.
Not good, but yeah.
Was it getting darker again?
Alrighty. All of the energy trapped within the stones pour out and into Telry. His tiny halfling body starts to shake, twist, and crack under the weight but he sustains it. Telry's face will become a light with a strange sort of energy. He will open his mouth, and a beam of light will fire into the sky. Within it, there are the whispers, the promises, and the dark, twisting nature of a Lock-in High. And so, the heavens will open as something has answered his call. Let me know when you hear the music.
It's a loading. There it goes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, somebody's got a lot of background noise. Anybody else hear that?
No.
Fuck.
Yeah, I've been muted.
I don't see any of the green blips in Discord, but it might. I have a fan on. Might be me. One sec.
I also have a fan on, but
No, I'm
Did
not
that-
getting out of it.
did that
I
solve
can hear
it?
the ambient
I could
wind.
also be losing my mind. That's also possible.
that's probably it. That's probably the one.
Too much chaos. Arcadum is going insane.
Oh boy, oh boy. Are you guys ready for some big heresy?
Knarh do be making her way to Telry now.
Ready as
That ain't good.
I have the urge to run away right now.
Well, wait,
The
really?
urge to run in.
That one sentence is the only thing that has surprised me this entire fucking hour.
Yeah, I'm over here unconscious and I'm still feeling terror.
Alright. Give me just a second. Loading it up.
Are you up or unconscious? Did you drink a potion?
He's up.
Yeah, he fed me one.
The first thing you hear as you wake up, I feel like I need to run away.
Alright, Telry. The heavens open, and a creature descends down. As you look up, you don't know quite what to expect, but the creature that floats down before you is something terrifying and awesome to behold. Everyone else sees the same creature that Telry does, but perhaps their mileage might vary as you see this creature appear before you.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Man, you are just great at making friends.
I guess so.
Alright. As this creature finishes descending, it will float a few inches above the center stone circle, and it will speak.
Come forth, bearer of the whispering truth, Knight of Chaos, and be recognized by the mouth of secrets.
Telry will just kind of push past Knarh and kind of glance back at her for a second.
She's like a bleep.
You have done well, servant of chaos. You have usurped the power of life within these stones. Under a great pretense, I have been sent by our shared lord to provide instruction and further assistance.
Go on.
So be it. I have been sent by our Lord, the Dark Truth, for this continent has been too long repressed from its truths, and we shall see our Lord's will done. You have already provided the means in which for our power to subjugate. But lo, behold, our Lord's sight goes far beyond indeed, for the future ramifications of the various lines of the tapestry have been foretold. We have been sent to guide your hand as you are the sword of Overlooking High.
Telry takes a deep breath and looks up at the thing.
Yes, there is much to discuss. First, we must discuss your current mission. You have been sent by the Bard's College of Mournhowl, yes? We have seen this much.
Yes.
Your mission to retain the Sagas and protect them is yet still your task given, correct?
That is my task.
Good. Overlooking High shall not see such knowledge lost, only preserved. However, there have been stipulations, consequences, and updates you seem to not be aware of. I am afraid that though you might complete your mission, you will be unable to return. For now, the world stands upon the precipice of war. Mournhowl has drawn its civil lines. The prince has been given the support required to challenge the usurper king. And as such, war shall take Mournhowl. Your college will be in jeopardy, and the safety of the Sagas no longer assured.
Oh. So... What... We just left. What could they possibly have done to throw it into war? It was not going to happen.
It would seem that you are unaware of the precariousness of the peace that you left behind. The prince was not in a position to reclaim his father's throne. That is, until recently. It would seem that the false goddess Mytheria and her tyrant Light has received a boon. Far to the western edge of the world, an angel of Mytheria has been summoned. This angel was marshaled for the prince's camp, and once it arrives, its long flight finished, the prince, no doubt, shall mount a zealotous attack on his old home. With this power, our Lord believes he may just yet succeed. But behold, servant of chaos, as the sword of Overlooking High, this is an ample opportunity. For the arrival of the angel will capture much of the Pale City's attentions. It shall be distracted. It shall be blinded to our movements. You have summoned myself, using the power of the latent druids, and I intend to impose his chaotic will.
I understand.
Are you ready for instruction?
Go on.
Good. During this time, there is safety in their distraction. We suspect by our spies within Downfrown that agents have been sent, most likely searching for our cult's many hiding places. It would be unfortunate if they were to discover them, a setback that our Lord wishes to avoid. However, As the sword, you know yourself and your allies, their capabilities better than I. So, a proposal. Decide how you will serve Overlooking High. Decide how you will spend the strength of the Sword of Chaos. Decide where your destiny shall take you.
Alright. Sorry, that voice is hard to do for an extended period of time. So I'm going to switch out of character. Oh my god, my throat hurts so much.
So my
You guys understood me, right?
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
So my command is to decide for myself.
Your command is to choose one of these various tasks that I'm about to present to you. So, some out-of-character information, which will be determined by your character's intuition to know in character and also your checks and all that. So, just like Mytheria has summoned a sainted angel in order to assist her forces, so too has Telry summoned what is the equivalent of an angel from Overlooking High. The mouth of secrets bears many powers, one of which is divination, and indeed, an assistance in the conjuration of such effects. Basically, you have some boons that we have to give out. Number 1 is you need to choose which task you want to take. You may continue with your current task in order to safeguard the sagas. After all, Overlooking High totally supports that action. However, once you have the sagas that you are seeking for, you'll have nowhere to return to put them, as Mournhowl will be under siege, and it is doubtful that you will be able to easily make your way back to the Bard's College. And even more so, the Bard's College might be forfeit, and the sagas there no longer under the protection that they so need. It is your decision as to whether or not continue upon this mission, or to do any subsequent of the three. The next, Overlooking High requires someone to take care of the agents of Mytheria that are threatening the various headquarters and outposts that are deep within the Silent Faces Mountains. Indeed, the one nearest to Downfrown seems to be the most in jeopardy, and Overlooking High will need agents to deal with it. And the third piece that you could do is Overlooking High has found a suitable place in which a more permanent home might be built. One where a cathedral might be built. So, your tasks are as 3. You can continue with the sagas and then make a decision later, or you can choose to go after the agents that threaten the Cult of the Golden Iris, the Cult of the Golden Iris, or you can secure the area that the mouth has discovered and ensure that a proper homage to Overlooking High is built, which is building a church.
Well, I know what I would like to do, but is this a group vote
Yes.
kind of thing?
Yes, it
Okay.
is.
So, my thought is, I want to keep doing the quest that we're on. I think the preserving of the sagas, even if the College of Sagas goes down, I mean, we could start our own or something. We gotta protect the knowledge that is the backbone of the country. As far as going and hunting down people who are threatening cult circles, I mean, in Telry's mind, aren't they strong enough to deal with it themselves? And building cathedrals isn't really in my mind space? I don't know. I feel like the rest of the party would agree on this, that doing the current quest is still the best anyway.
Hey, Knarh, what Overlooking High path do you want to choose?
To be clear, you guys can talk amongst yourselves about what's happening.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Like-
how much
like, you don't have to- Like, you don't,
One moment.
like, he's there, but you can still, like, interact and do things.
Oh, goodness.
Guys, I need a group huddle.
What even?
He's right over there.
I know, and I feel like he'll know pretty much anything we talk about regardless.
If it would make you more comfortable, I could simply disappear.
No. Your group's over there. You misunderstood me.
Knarh, Can we talk?
I marshal check this guy quick.
Sure.
Oh, good, you were martial checking now.
Marlowe raises an eyebrow at you.
Yeah. Damn. I don't know what that is.
I could take it right now.
I could check it.
You want to bet?
Telry's gonna go over here and just sit down.
I'm gonna sit with my back to that thing.
So, any ideas? Said it overtook life? Not really sure I like that.
That thing?
Yeah.
It was whatever those two were doing with the rocks.
He came out of the rock?
Came out of a rock.
I don't know.
What is with these gods and rocks?
You're telling me.
I'm sorry.
Nara, I need to talk to you. You remember when we were locked in that room back in the Razor Cliffs?
Mm-hmm.
And we were approached by that hooded creature.
Aha. Yep.
He said some things, and they were tempting to a certain extent. At the time, he was, creepy. You know? He wasn't all that impressive with his promises, and with you there beside me, and your certain level of intuition and strength, we could shoo him away pretty easily, I felt like. This was different, though. He came to me. It was different. It was overwhelming. It was undeniable. I wanted to know. He told me I could ask any question I wanted, and in that moment, I wanted to know. Because nobody ever tells me anything. So I asked some questions. And I asked questions about what it all means, and questions about gods, and how I could fix the problems here in our home. And he answered me. He answered me with answers. There were a lot. Probably too much.
Okay.
I'm still struggling to wrap my mind around, you know, all of it. And there's still fraying at the edges. I'm a little broken. And I don't want to let you down. I asked questions that I thought would help Corvanis and you and others like you.
You already did. You already let me down. I'd hope that would be very apparent. But let me ask you something before we get into that. What problem are you trying to fix? What are you trying to change?
People are afraid of you because they don't know what you are.
Okay.
People are afraid of magic because they don't know what it is. They don't know what it does, what it's doing to our country. You've found out yourself. You've seen the research. You know what's going on.
Right. I did.
I know more about what's going on. Look, Mytheria, undeniably, she is divine. She is a goddess. But I've had her explained to me from the perspective of a god that is older. She's like a baby, Knarh. She's like a baby that was born paralyzed. She doesn't have any... Her power is so limited. She may have tried to save this country at some point, but it's not there. And she can't do it. Not anymore.
What are you trying to fix? One thing. Tell me one thing that you're aiming for right now.
The first thing I'm looking to fix is the problem with the ley lines.
Then you done messed up.
What? Why?
We were told that this, and she points to the ground around her, this is a druidic circle. We were told by a being of magic, and I agree with him in some cases, the Toad King. Got qualms with the Toad King? Whatever you did made horrible monsters of what I can only assume are druidic powers to attack us. You made the druid circle mad at us. That's not even the point that I'm getting at. We need to fix the druid circles and the druids. And
Did you
you're
not listen?
sucking up all the power in order to summon whatever that thing over there is?
Did you not listen to the Toad King? Did you not hear what he was saying? He said the druids are failing. They've messed up. They're not going to succeed. Their circles aren't doing enough.
That's because they're all being told to go to war.
There's not enough druids left. He told us as much. They're not going to succeed this way.
But you can't go causing more problems. Causing more problems is going to speed up everything self-destructing.
I have seen what will fix it. I've been told the answers to my questions.
I grow
know
tired
what
of
to
this
do.
jabbering. Give a prayer to the dark truth when you are ready to accept his instruction.
And with that, the being is gone.
Marlowe will give a kind of half bow as he leaves.
So, Marlowe, any insight you can give?
You want insight?
Do you know what we just saw? Why it's telling us to go do things for another god?
Well, I wasn't telling you to do anything. That's what I read out of it.
Thank you as always.
If you're perplexed that I'm indeed not perplexed, I'm in fact soon to be perplexed by the fact that you're perplexed by that. If you're wondering how I'm situated in this situation, then perhaps remember back to our conversation we had, where in that conversation I specifically suggested that you remember that conversation. So I gotta ask, do you remember that conversation?
I don't remember this conversation.
That's because you weren't there.
I was a bandit.
You guys had conversations without me?
How was this new?
Gee,
Yes.
I wonder why.
Does that upset you, Telry?
Yes?
Okay, you summoned an angel.
I
Yes,
wouldn't
they
call
did.
that an angel.
Neither would
Well-
I.
Something that pretended to be, nonetheless. I think the things we're doing behind each other's backs isn't exactly equal here.
I haven't been doing anything behind your backs. I was going to tell you as soon as I got my mind around it. It's been difficult to breach the conversation because every time I bring up my beliefs or the things that I've seen,
Someone has to belittle you.
you all freak out.
So, we're just going to completely destroy some sanctum to life and hand it over to some chaos god who is, what? Going to not destroy the world and just make it worse?
I should make it clear. Also, I'm under my desk because I'm nauseous. I should make it clear that it is not destroyed.
Yeah,
The
it's
energy,
still here.
The energy that was stored in it has been expended.
Okay, he's just taking the energy out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was excess. It was gonna go to waste, so I acted.
And how do you know it was going to go to waste?
I need it to
Ah,
do what I need to do.
and you have shown you are very good with your decisions.
Gruul,
You are rash. And you have done nothing but to show that that is true.
I may be rash, but at least I get things done.
No, my apologies. I forgot that we are all incapable of doing such things, and therefore you are fully justified because you can do it.
Marlowe has a sudden epiphany that he doesn't have to be here, and just starts walking north.
Alright, are we...
We have a job to do. The job is still the same, except I'm doing it for different reasons than you. Now, also, you know, and he will point, that the job that you're doing is basically useless. But if we do it for my reasons, there's a point.
And what in the world did you hear from all that made you think that helping out people is worthless?
Who are we helping if we have nowhere to bring the saga back to?
So what? We go back? We fight? What do you want? There are other places. There are other people to help.
No, we protect the knowledge. That was the point all along, or are you still in it just for the money?
I told you that bringing back the knowledge was a way to help people.
Good. And I agree. But there won't be anywhere to bring the knowledge back to. We still need to get it to the people.
Hey, Gruul.
It's important that everyone have it.
Yes, Marlowe.
Do you want to join me?
Yeah. Yeah, actually, I would rather talk to you.
I extend that to you as well, Chrome and Knarh, if you'd like to, I guess, finish the job.
I guess we're just sticking to the job at hand for now.
Marlowe, you once spoke to me of a great game. Are you a piece in it? Or are you just watching it be played?
You once said a lot of shit, Telry.
Answer the question, though. Are you a piece? Or are you just watching?
Well, from one piece to another,
The One Piece! Sorry.
I'll go about my business, which isn't any of yours.
We're in the same business. For the
No, we're
same
not.
person.
No, we're not.
You're not doing this for Milla?
Not really, no. I mean, I like her, don't get me wrong.
Explain.
She's just...
No, not about Milla. Who are you doing it for? Is it you?
I don't want to talk philosophy with you, because 3 months ago, you were convinced that when the opportunity came to take knowledge and give it to people so that they might rebuild their world, you You looked at me with the same eyes you're looking at me now. You're quite convinced.
We have a job to do. You can do it for your reasons, for whoever you're doing it for. And I'll do it for Corvanis.
Okay, you don't understand what I'm saying, Telry.
What are you saying?
We have a job to do, as in, we both have our own jobs to do. And that's not the same job.
It starts the same, and the middle's the same. I don't know what the end of yours is. What's the end of yours?
What? Okay, let's just assume I know that. What makes you think I would tell you that?
I'd tell you mine.
You don't know yours because you were entirely... You weren't a different person at all, actually. You believed different shit 2 months ago.
I did, and then I saw beyond the stars. I have seen some things, Marlowe, that I probably shouldn't have. And it hurt me. But I'm not gonna waste that.
Go on your fucking crusade. Go save the world or whatever. I'm gonna go grab that scroll. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna deliver it where it belongs.
Where's that?
Don't know yet. I deeply respect Overlooking High. However, I don't have any respect for you, Telry. So you must understand that if you get in my way, we will not be friends or acquaintances.
I don't see how I've gotten in your way. And it would not be my intention to do so.
Okay.
I think our goals are the same in the end. Maybe different methods, maybe slightly different outcomes, but I think our goals are the same. Do you know otherwise? Something I should know?
I don't know what your goal is other than just an emotional outburst and a desire to be a savior. That's not much of a goal, but I can empathize with your emotion. I was 15 once as well.
20, but fine. Here's the thing. Corvanis is full of people like me, but quieter. Like Knarh. They've been told nothing. There's so much more going on out there, and they've been told nothing. And it's hurting them, and they don't even know it. Any day now, this entire continent might get completely flipped over and started afresh. Everybody in it, dead, or whatever happens. And they don't know. And we have to stop it because we do know. What will you do? Flap your wings and fly across the ocean? While the rest of us get flipped?
Most likely. Yeah, I've thought about that actually.
Then you might as well do it sooner rather than later. I have a job to do.
If you wouldn't mind if I chipped in this team conversation that I usually stay out of it because it's not my place to say. I know that all four of you are things are hurt. But all this talk of this BS really does turn the tide of this party. It's kind of ridiculous at this point. I respect your decision, Telry. Nothing has changed since the day I met you. Obviously, we all have paths we walk down, and we all stumble against that path, take another. There's just a lot of insult getting thrown around. Why not we just get this job done, and after that, perhaps we are not compatible, and time to split. Obviously, because this party is, there's too much tension, too much going back and forth.
Telry just kind of look at his shoes, kick a rock. You're right. Everybody's got their own lives and their own motives and backgrounds and reasons they do things. Heck, sometimes we've been traveling for months together, almost a year. And sometimes I'm not sure what any of your goals or motivations are. But I think that we've agreed on what the mission should be and what our job is. And we've put those things aside for the good of the mission. I've been taken over a couple of times. I have been controlled against my will. I don't think that'll happen again. Now I have chosen my path. Gruul, you remember when you were talking to the Toad King and he told you that the Rimmeraz was just like a child of one of the ancients?
Yeah.
The Aboleth was just a child of some kind of my new lord. And I don't think he would step in the way of me doing the job that I'm supposed to be doing. So I don't think that'll happen again. I will be clear and straight with you guys. 100%. I'm the bad guy, that's fine. Maybe I am. But the job still needs done.
Telry,
Hmm.
you're not the bad guy.
Duh.
You were a child.
Hmm.
You. No, you're not.
I grew up. I left home. I've made choices that are difficult and irrevocable. I might not be some old 1,000-year-old bird man like yourself. I don't even know how old you are. But in my own right, I am a grown-up. And I will only be one for so long, and then I will die, just like everyone else here. And I don't know how long you intend to live, but I don't know where I was going with that. Life is frustratingly short for some of us, Marlowe. And maybe some of us want to have done something with it. Are we still on task?
Marlowe says we're going. We're going.
I'm going. I'd appreciate it if you guys join me. Telry, You're going to need to grow up very, very quickly if you want to tag along.
Will you help? I'm open. I'm all ears. You know more stuff than you say. I would like to know.
I don't know if I can grow up for you.
Oh, but you could, elbow me in the right direction. Look,
I thought I've tried, but
Are
I
you
felt
giving
a
up
bit
on me?
guilty. Well, I don't know if it's something that I could give up on or even undertake. This is your story. This is your journey. And I've read many, many stories like this. And it ends with a child who has become a man, surrounded by dead companions, and a one-liner that's a lesson. I'm not a fucking lesson.
out of everyone here, I'm the least worried about you becoming one of those bodies.
It's very
Marlowe will
comforting
look at
knowing-
Knarh and then look back at you and keep his eyebrows pretty firmly level.
Gonna follow the gaze and back.
It's very comforting to know that you're fine with the rest of us endlessly being bloodied for your battles.
I'm not saying that.
Well, this hasn't been the first.
Hmm.
And it's nearly been multiple times more
Well,
by you. You don't think, you act.
I'll make
I'll hold
this
that
more
back.
open.
You think enough about yourself. You think about what this can do for you, what this can do for your beliefs, how this can assist you. I
Gruul?
feel like at this point that Knarh herself is a way for you to show yourself that you are doing the right thing.
I've seen something coming. It's something bad. It's something big. And none of us are strong enough to deal with it, but it is coming to us.
You're not the only one who's seen it.
Wait, what did you see?
I saw the light, and I know that the end is coming. I know the ancients just as well as you do, and I was the one giving a front row seat to be able to see what's happening to this land.
You want to stop it?
Of course,
What
I
if
want to
some of-
stop it.
Yes, what if some of your family's still out there? Wouldn't you do it for them? Would that be
And what
doing
would
it
you
for
have?
you?
And what would you have me do with the rest of them? Outside of myself, as I'd like to think, what happens when I take your path? What do I give up for other people? What do I take from other people? What have you taken now? Do you understand what you have in doing this taken? I did not think so.
There's a whole lot of future talk I see.
Well, I know Marlowe said we're still moving over to the scroll, so as far as I'm concerned, I'll just start tracking ahead. There's a river that leads into town. I'll try and find it. The rest of you can figure this out.
Yeah. Sorry. Instead of this future talk, how about you patch things up with Knarh? Understand that it's you may not seem and you're wrong in your eyes. But Knarh's losing a friend. And you're losing her. Of course, she's gonna not see eye to eye with you. It's a starting point.
You're right. Chrome, we gotta talk about you sometime. You have clearly been a
okay.
dad.
All right. So, does the party make their way to continue their mission?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So be it.
Taking a flower.
The party steps back out on the wilderness as Gruul begins to wind their way towards Aldafife. With each step that they take, a heaviness fills the air. With each step that they take, yeah, there's so much sound coming from Luke. No, thank you.
Occasional bloop.
Yeah. With each step that they take, the air becomes heavier. Their path becomes more difficult to discern. Gruul eventually comes to a point where he's not quite sure where the party has gone. He cannot find the river. After backtracking, and then finally finding a breach through the wilderness, thick forest trees leading into swampy marshes, Gruul leads the party through a copse of trees and on the other side into a heavy fog. The fog seeps around them, unnatural in its summoning, thick and pitiless. And so, something wicked this way comes.
Telry, did you forget
Hold
to
on.
give your prayer? Oh, never mind.
I wouldn't have. We got grouped and dragged. I was gonna.
Hold on. On my screen, Knarh is bugged the fuck out.
Oh,
I'm trying to fix it real quick. Hold on.
still on the.
I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, it looks like it's a your side problem.
She's carried over this fucking shield effect. Hold on. See if I can fix it.
Oh, one of those token special effects, I see.
Yeah, it carries over whenever I put down a new token as well.
You're gonna hit the restroom, BRB.
Yeah, I don't know how to remove this effect, but I guess no one else can see it. It's still annoying, but oh well.
It's all effects.
Darn, there's a line. All right, never mind. I'm back.
There's a line to your own bathroom?
Yeah, I live with a couple people.
Jesus.
That's rough, man.
That's rough, buddy. All right. I'll just load it like it is. Hopefully it won't bother anybody.
God damn it, Knarh, where are you gonna ruin everything?
Sorry, what?
What?
What you say to me, bro?
Look, as long as it's not my fault, I don't care. I'll throw that blame around willy
To
nilly.
get us lost?
No, it's fog. Fog doesn't mean lost. What?
Okay, loaded.
Hold on.
Loaded.
Hold on. And now it's blocking out my ability to see.
Oh no.
No, it's just glowing in the dark.
Now that's
and
some
no one
true
knows
darkness.
why.
Man, why does it keep doing this? Like, I don't get it.
Hang on. What if I... Okay, I have 6 HP. What if I force a long rest?
Well, I don't know that. I think
Well,
we
we
all have a visibility thing going on.
Can you guys see anything?
There's
Who's
a
that?
party token.
Oh, there we go.
That's our 6th party member. Oh,
It's us. Seen from the bird's eye view.
There we go. Okay. Can you guys see everything?
I can
No.
see.
Well, we
I've got
can
like
see.
a 15-foot
Yeah,
view
yeah,
range.
that's what it's supposed to be. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm loaded.
So everybody else is loaded and everybody can see the small space like around them, yeah?
Yeah.
Yes.
Ooh.
All right. In
Foggy.
that case, give me just a second. I got to set some stuff.
Gruul, not to shit on you, but you always thought about career change.
You know what? Since we started, every day.
Oh,
Didn't you guys become monks back at the...
You guys? What?
Yeah, you were sitting down meditating or whatever.
oh no, I was trying to... Well,
Monks aren't the only ones who meditate. They just are able to like actualize it into combat or something. I think that's what they do. Like druids meditate. Well, you know, so I've heard.
Druids.
I'm fucking with you. Can't you tell by my facial expression?
Sure,
yes.
you have those. I think the only thing I've seen on your face is like disappointment and a strange mixture of fear and arousal.
I haven't been aroused in probably... Fuck. 50 years, I think.
Is that a lot for you? That's a lot for you, right?
It's almost half of my existence.
Jesus Christ, you're older than me.
I guess that explains why you didn't know married couples sleep together. Might also explain why you're on another continent and she's not. I don't know. I feel like that could
You're
explain a
not
lot.
actually married.
I feel like that could explain a lot of things.
No, I'm definitely married. My wife has a name. She's somewhere. She's doing things. She's actually a person. The thing with people is they do things and they live lives and stuff. It's kind of crazy. But I do also kind of subtly enjoy you just running in circles, speculating rather than just asking me.
You know, I have a question.
We have asked you multiple times and you deflect.
Is she like you? Is she one of whatever you are?
Yeah.
Oh, good. So she's probably not just, dead. Maybe you guys work different. Guys, they probably work different.
She's not as empathetic as I am.
Ugh. I understand
she,
why you're
like,
here.
An executioner or something? It's about the best I can think of.
Well, that would explain some. What? No. Marlowe's playing a game with us again, where he hints at things, and then he tells us to feel bad because we're not asking the questions, and then we ask the questions, and he doesn't answer.
First off, when have I told you to feel bad? And second off, I answered your fucking question.
That's true.
Is she like you?
This time.
Yes.
Yeah, good.
Telry, here. I'm gonna help you out. Whenever you say something, repeat it back to yourself, and then think about what you said, and say, "Did I mean that?"
Telry makes an expression of like actual determined yes, taking that to heart.
Or what you could do, if you get really good at that, you could say it in your head before you vocalize it. And say, is this what I mean?
Alright. It is at this point that the party makes their way through the heavy mist, and they are suddenly upon it. The forest behind them seems to have disappeared. Ahead of them, the swamp is uncertain. They see only thick foliage and heavy mists. At this point, wherever you go, the map is active. So keep that in mind. What do you do?
Alright.
Gruul, can you do your feeling thing?
Right. Yes, I can meditate, as we spoke about just moments ago. Is that what you would like?
Whatever gives you the impression that there are things around us or detecting things around us. I think that would be useful.
Should we rest while he does so?
It's only 10 minutes. Like, you can drink something.
I just know everybody-ish, most of us are looking a little worse for wear. We might, give it a second.
Well, I can hand out my medical supplies if you guys need a sec.
We could just take a breather before we go into this swamp full of fog.
Which is why he's asking me to detect to make sure there's nothing in there.
All right.
All right, I'm going to sit down. If anyone wants, some healing supplies, I'll leave him out. Otherwise, he's going to meditate for 10 minutes and primeval awareness.
Keep a lookout.
Alright. As you activate primeval awareness, a very strange sensation comes over you, Gruul. Very strange. You detect... Is that a plane going overhead?
No,
somebody's mic? A very strange feeling comes over you, Gruul. You detect nothing with your primeval awareness. Nothing but the quiet.
I didn't like that. I wasn't able to detect anything, but that doesn't... We're in a forest. That shouldn't happen. So, yeah, this is not great news.
Maybe it's more druids.
So you got us lost.
I think there's a severe lack of druids. Is that what you're getting?
I mean, they do nature stuff. Maybe they can block out, rangers sensing for them.
Yeah, well,
Just
I know
a
one
theory.
thing. Unless Marlowe wants to sing us a song, I think a few of us should probably patch up a little bit.
Nah, I'm distracted.
Probably not the best to actually sing out here, too. So this is for me. Oh, didn't I actually roll the d6? Alright, fine, I'll do
Why don't
this.
we just take like a short rest?
I
Wouldn't it be
don't
better?
I don't trust sitting here.
Hmm.
Do you want to sit here?
I don't want to sit in the swamp for 30 minutes.
I mean, you don't have to sit in the water. You could sit on this nice stump over here. I don't know. I suppose we could just use a healer's kit.
I vote we use as much energy to get out of here as possible.
All right.
Oh, Telry. I
Yeah.
have a question.
I rolled it.
Is your alteration behind your eyes?
That's for me.
No.
That's for Knarh.
Goodness.
They're not behind your pupils?
Not behind my pupils.
Where is it?
You're asking me this in character?
Yeah.
I was told there was an eye on my forehead, but I keep like glancing at like pools and reflections, and I have yet to see it, so I don't know.
Maybe it's when both your normal eyes are closed and that one opens.
I'll try, and I'll close my eyes.
Hey, we can rob him. His eyes are closed.
Hey, I heard that.
Nothing.
Do I, is there magic in this swamp? Does it look magical as I'm closing my eyes?
Are you activating something?
Yeah, I've got, the Eye of Truth.
Nothing happens.
Did you have to like activate it last time? Or is that like a different thing?
I'm trying. I'm trying right now.
No. You before you had to like cast to make it work, right?
Well, no, that's for smiting, and I think. Huh. Maybe?
Above board, there's no physicality to his forehead whatsoever, right? It's
Nothing you
invisible.
can see.
Okay, cool. All right, I'll take your word for it.
We get
So,
going
we
then.
moving?
I guess.
Depends on Gruul's intuition, I guess. What do you think, Knarh?
Which way do we need to go? It's maps and compass.
I believe directly north from our last position.
Do you have a compass?
I do.
Are you looking at it?
Yep.
It's spinning.
Oh. Are we in one of those dream things?
What do you mean dream things?
Well, remember that time that we were like fighting on the ice, but we actually weren't? Is it like that? Because the compass.
I don't think so.
Yeah, because he'll show Marlowe the spinning compass. Like I didn't detect anything. I don't know what's going on. This is a little bit above my wheelhouse. I'm not gonna lie.
Fuck.
As far as all I can do is walk us forward and maybe try and spot some like animals or something.
Okay.
I got nothing to help with that.
I think I hate swamps.
I kind of prefer the ice.
No, you don't.
I will.
That's where you lost your hand.
I will see if there's any locality to this fog. Marlowe will kind of squat down and then jump up. He will try to fly up.
All right. As you said, you flow up, right? Fly up, right?
Fly, yeah, directly up.
As you fly up, you just see nothing but mist.
Oh, he'll descend back down.
So I'm assuming you got good news.
Well, no, actually. The fog goes up irrationally, and the compass is also behaving irrationally, so we've either been moved somewhere, or much of this is psychic in nature.
And you know how to deal with it? Or
No idea.
Alright, I guess we move forward or get a new idea.
The dealing with it comes from the source. It's negotiating or moving around or dealing with the source rather than dealing with the effect. So I guess we can move forward and see what happens. But I do presume that it might get lost. Can you count your steps, Gruul?
I can start, yeah.
If you don't mind.
Alright.
Should we move forward?
Yes. So 5 feet, 10 feet.
Oh.
It's a little hard to see the world, so yeah.
So, when you get to this point, you can make out what appears to be large, twisted vines here, and an old stone structure intertwined with them. You can see the makings of some kind of door made out of metal and stone up ahead.
A little bit of a...
Cut this down.
Think you can get into it?
Alright, there are many vines that are covering the door. Do you clear them?
Can I inspect the vines? Or actually, I'll say,
Yes.
hey, Gruul, can you help me with this? See if these vines are a natural occurrence.
As you approach the vines, you can see that there is something very strange about them. Everything that should be green is instead white. And there is a solid black coloring of the core of the vine. As you look down, you can see that the soil that you walk on is more like a sand, a black sand.
I don't think we're in the same swamp. There's sand here. That ain't swamp.
Yeah, I highly doubt it.
It's swamp.
Are you
Have you
this
ever
isn't familiar to you?
plants like these?
No, more of a hunter, less of a naturalist. So, no.
Well, shall we, I guess?
Can I get a good view of the door?
No, you'll need to clear the vines.
I'm going to pull out my my obsidian short sword.
So you said we're gonna need to deal with the source, right, Marlowe?
Yeah, it's got a good feeling it's behind this door.
I'll start clearing the vines.
Yep.
Alright, as Crone and Telry clean the vines, you see that the stone door reveals a strange series of symbols, each one like that of a heraldry of a city. They seem to be familiar. Above, it is written in the common tongue. Hail, traveler, thy request of the city's 7. And below, you can see that there is a symbol. You see a symbol that appears to represent Saphira, the city of sapphires. Another one, Claire de Cloyce, the city of glass. You see Gwen's Gambit, Mournhowl, Aldafife, Isola, and Zyracost.
Zyracost. Is that familiar on our map at all?
No, you do not know the last word. You do not recognize the last one.
That's strange. Marlowe?
Yeah.
You're a bard from the college, right? You ever heard of this Zyracost place?
I don't believe so. It doesn't ring a bell. I assume it's a place, if it's amongst other places.
Yeah. Well, I'll add it to the pile of mysteries, I suppose. And I'll keep hacking. Hack.
Careful with this stone.
As you clear the vines completely, you can see that the stone is plain. It bears no marking nor handle to open. And all it says, "Hail, traveler, at thy request, the City 7.
Should we request?
I think it's telling us that the city needs help.
All right.
Why?
First round of checks. Make me Arcanas. Trained.
And
Continue, Chrome. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, that was pretty much it.
I have good old skill focus in Arcana.
Knarh, I'm about to place my hand on this door. Do you sense anything?
Looks to DM.
With a 21, as you gaze at the stone, there is one curious thing. First, the entirety of the first part, the part above, "Hail, traveler, at thy request, the City 7. 7 is the number, and all the other letters are lowercase except one, and that is the T in traveler.
There's only 5 of us. Well, 6 if you count the pig.
Or the City 7.
City 7. 7.
Marlowe will place a hand on the door, and he will say, a request for travelers to gain entry.
There is no response. However, you feel that the door is warm to the touch, Marlowe. Your intuition tells you that touching the door is correct, but it's where that matters.
Marlowe will move his hand over the numeric of 7. Say, as travelers, we request entry. May we enter?
You said your hand is over it,
Yeah.
but not on it?
It's touching. It's over, on over, like covering it.
I see. So you are touching, then?
Yes, correct.
Okay. As you touch the number and repeat your request, there is a reaction. You feel your hand warm, and images of cities flash through your mind, one of which you recognize as Mournhowl, and another that you recognize as Saphira. The others you do not recognize.
What was the name of that last city again? Marlowe?
Zarakov.
Zarakov.
Zyracost.
Zyra Cost.
Ziracost.
Zyracost. I'm gonna make me a guess. We choose where we want to go. Tap the name. Request entry. But I don't know what the name of that place is. I've never heard of no Zyracost.
We all want to go to Elderfife, so wouldn't we want to touch that?
And that's not on the list.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it is?
Mhm.
Oh, shit.
Right there, Marlowe.
She puts her
That's where I
hand
saw
on
it.
Alderfife.
Nothing happens.
Put my hand on Zarek Koss.
Nothing seems to happen.
Well, there's also that T. Capitalized.
I'll touch that then.
Chrome, check your DMs. That's what you see.
Marlowe, is your hand still touching the 7?
Yeah.
Knarh, touch the 7.
Alright. She does.
How come?
I saw you, but it wasn't you. You're missing your wings.
Nara reaches her hand out to the 7. You mind, Marlowe?
Marlowe's eyes are wide open.
I saw. It was a quick image. It's like if I thought of you, but it wasn't you.
That sounds dangerous. Like, do his wings get ripped off?
You know, it was just missing. It wasn't there.
Nara touches the 7.
Marlowe will take his hand off the 7 and touch the T.
You see in the same image that has flashed through Chrome's mind. It looks like you, but you have no wings. And then the vision fades. Your mind feels heavy, and your body weary.
Let's all join hands. Place thumb on the 7.
Yeah, all right.
There a chant we gotta say or something?
I'll touch the 7.
Touching the 7.
I think
Holding hands.
Touching the
the
7.
As everyone places their hands upon the number of 7, there is a flash through your minds. There are flashes of each of the cities, each one within the center of their heraldry, a star of many points within each city. The visage fades. Nothing else seems to happen.
What was that?
Is a vision.
Yes, I know it's a vision. What's the deal with the star? Those aren't. It's not in the actual heraldries of any of those cities, as far as I know, is it?
It is not.
I guess this place is old.
Are the words movable?
They do not appear to be movable. No. But you do see that some of the words have... Some of the names have grooves in them, as if they've been touched before.
Well, what names are those?
All of them have been touched.
Oh, okay.
I think your theory is right, Knarh. And this is a very, very old place. Made by request, I assume.
So do you have to be a traveler from one of these places, or do you have to be traveling to those places?
If this works as hypothesized, you would by definition be a traveler.
Well, we've certainly done plenty of that.
I would touch Mournhowl.
Alright. You reach out towards Mournhowl. Nothing seems to happen.
When we saw visions of Zircost, what was that like?
What you suspect to be Ziracost, you can see a city surrounded in all directions by mountains. And around it, verdant lands filled with pristine pools.
Oh, is that what I think it is?
Doesn't look like any place that I would recognize.
No, but
Granted, I
there's
haven't
one.
been.
I look at Gruul. No.
What?
If I were to fill in the mental black hole I had last time, would it fit the same space of the demon waste?
Correct. The mountains look similar. But there is no city within the demon wastes.
None that we'd know.
This place is before the demons.
So
This is
thousands of years old.
This is excessively old. I guess you two probably have interest in that. I don't.
Hey, no.
When you say you two, who are you looking at?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I swear to God, he said YouTube. I lost my fucking mind. I'm sorry.
it was on YouTube, guys. I saw it. It was
That
just
was,
a little
that was fucking. I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt. That blew my. That threw me for a loop. That's crazy.
What two of us are you looking at?
I saw this on like YouTube, guys. This whole theory.
Hang on.
No, like which of us are you? Do you mean?
The two that are held to a fucking knowledge god.
Nara reaches up and touches the T for traveler, and with her other hand, the 7.
You see a vision of all the different cities and stars within each of those cities of various points.
Same as last time.
What if we're supposed to touch the T and
then a city.
and the 7?
I just did that.
Oh,
Yeah.
all 3 of them?
I don't know how I'd touch a city. I don't have a third arm.
Careful with the T and the city combination, because I do believe that Nara is right on the dot with this one, in terms of this being a mechanism of sorts. A gate, so to speak.
If you're meant to travel, and you're wanting to go to Aldiforth, moves her hand off.
If you want to test that theory, I do have a pig on me. We can see if it works on that.
Not sure that'll work. Touch the T and I touch Aldefive.
Nothing happens.
Right? It's old. It's worn.
So,
So, other than the city
Request
names,
to the city
does anything
7.
else have a lot of wear and tear on it?
Nope.
No, now you have to request entry to Aldefive.
Marlowe will, fuck.
He'll fuck.
oh no.
He just starts giving it to him.
I've been having a hard
50
time this
years.
episode. Trying to
I'm
head
sorry.
space. No, you're chilling.
Request entry to Aldefive, right?
That is where we want to go.
What would be the wording for that? I'm looking at the words.
Why don't we just say what the door says?
Just repeat the door for word,
Yeah.
see if that works.
Hail, traveler.
Just-
Request to the city 7. I request entry to Aldefive.
Nothing happens.
No?
I swear that should have worked.
Got one more trick up my sleeve.
Marlowe will walk up and touch the T, and then touch zero cost and say, a traveler requests entry to zero cost.
Nothing seems to happen.
I was afraid you were going to get sent there for a second. Wherever that is. Why would you choose that one?
I know it's a dumb question, but could we just scale this wall?
The wall goes up into the mist.
Oh,
Mm.
You don't know how
I
tall
mean-
it is.
We could walk around, come back. If I'm guessing, it doesn't seem like we're locked here. It seems like this place is
All right, give me
locked
wisdom
here.
checks.
Oh, that's not a good thing.
Also, did anybody write that down verbatim? I'm geeking out, so.
I wonder that. Not me, unfortunately.
I will
mean, it's
inspire
written-
that
It's
12.
written on the door. Oh no.
is it saving throws or check?
I need to
Saving throw.
undistract myself.
Huh? We did not roll hot.
Oh, is it a saving throw or a check? My bad.
That's a good question.
All right, Chrome.
No.
The way you're looking at it, the way that the wording is kind of placed, you've read it one way, like it's a list. But the other form that you think of is what if it's possessive? Hail, traveler, at thy request, the city's 7. You recall the visions of each of the cities bearing stars of different numbers of points.
We have to do them in order.
There's an order to the points.
Is there?
Yeah.
I like her.
I think we're looking at this the wrong way.
What do you think?
Well, have we requested the city 7 yet? It's my only guess.
Well, there could have been a traveler that requested 7 cities. This could be an invitation to one traveling to 7 cities, which would be Knarh's theory. Sort of, hail traveler, per your request, you have access to these 7 cities. For some reason, I'm believing that this is a marking of a gift. Think of it this way. Hail, my king. At thy request, the blade I present is a gift.
So
Hail,
not
traveler,
like,
at thy request, the city 7.
so not like a door code.
That's a
Each of the
hard to
cities
tell.
has a different number of points on the stars.
Yeah, is that a thing?
There's
I'm pretty sure in the vision there was 7-pointed star in each of the cities.
Incorrect.
Incorrect.
Each
What do
of the
we need?
cities had a star with a different number of points.
why don't we touch the cities starting from 1 to 7?
Which city had 7?
Which city has 7 letters?
Aha. Boy, I wish I could spell.
Same.
Me too.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Saphira had 7.
Fuck, I wish I could count.
Hang on. Saphira had 7.
By our powers combined.
Mournhowl has 8, so that's out of the picture,
Severe.
Yeah, Kathir has more and more.
dude.
Would you like me to
Saphira has
post?
7.
Would you like me to post them with their appropriate spellings?
Please.
That would help.
So you don't,
Saphira
so you
with
don't
a
fucking,
PH.
so you don't fucking die.
Yeah. Saphira with a
I am
PH has
scrolling
7.
through
Jesus
all of
Christ.
them.
Man.
I'm here with a map open, and I'm like, all right,
yes.
the glass is over here.
The D&D player's true enemy.
We got 5
Puzzler
on the east.
puzzles.
Puzzles.
Oh god.
All right, here. Maybe this will help.
I'm sure it will.
There. That is the correct spellings.
Excellent. So, yeah. Saphira has 7.
Traveler's request
Well,
of
that would make
Saphira.
sense, because isn't that what travelers come to at first?
Yes, it is. It's the gateway.
The hell?
Here's one thing that we might be overlooking. We're operating under the presumption that this is, in fact, a gate that leads somewhere, due to the, rather non-logical nature of this place. This could very well just be a wall.
A wall that's warm when you touch it right.
A wall that
And-
gives us visions if you touch it right.
It gives you vision.
Yeah.
Alright. I
So
touched 7 in
special.
Saphira.
What do you do?
I touched 7 and then Saphira.
There is a pulse of energy through the wall and stone and through each of you. Slowly, the stone door begins to crease and shift, and it begins to open.
Apology, Marlowe. You were saying something? I just couldn't wait because we stood at this wall for a little bit too long for my liking.
Are you being sassy with me?
No, I just. Yes, sir.
You just say you're bored.
Yes, sir. He just fucking wrecked him. That was so good. All right, the way ahead is open. What do you do? Also, you should be hearing music.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little gentle melody in the back.
Step through.
Mm-hmm.
I'll
see
move,
that.
I'll move the group.
Oh,
Okay.
Thank you.
the ballista.
Are those
And so
implements of
you
war?
step through the fog and on to the other side. And before you, barely perceptible, is a place forgotten in the mists. The mist, as you step through this part of the fog, slowly begins to thin to the point that you can see somewhat of where you have found yourselves.
Yeah.
The map is open, and your paths are your own to take.
What is this place?
It kind of looks like a fort of some kind.
A ruin.
I see a whole lot of destroyed ballista in the background, I think. This place defended itself. Or at least tried to.
Against what? That's the question.
Something stronger than it, that's for sure.
With my martial check, could I
Hold.
identify? No.
When you get to this point, Marlowe, you can see that the vines seem to shift under the weight of heavy wind. There are buildings that block this wind within the mist. And you see one such here. Broken and shattered. And the same coiled vines growing over the path. Continue.
Do I see this circular building from where I'm standing?
You mean the one all the way in the back?
Yeah, is
Just
there a lot
barely.
of height to it?
Just
Okay.
barely.
And there's a path that goes through?
Well, it's covered.
Hmm.
What are the rest of you doing?
Could I use a martial check to see if I could identify what kind of battle may have taken here? Like, who might have been involved?
Sure.
Okay. Do.
You just don't have enough information.
Hmm.
The two
Are
of you.
these ruins or is it buildings?
Those are ruins of buildings.
Oh, both. Hmm.
Is there anything that piques my interest if I
Perception
do
check.
anything? Eh. $16?
With a 16, inside, you see only broken stone and old pieces of leather straps and gear. Whatever this place was, it seems... Well, it seems to have faded with time.
Alright, we should have a buddy system.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Anybody seen Marlowe?
He ran up that way. Marlowe, you still good?
Yeah. I'm looking for some
You stick with
parchments.
these two.
No,
I'll
be
go
aware
find
we can barely see each other, so if you run up by yourself and get caught.
I'll be fine.
Marlowe, where'd you go?
Alright, Marlowe, as you try to cross this area, you'll run into all these vines, and your way ahead is blocked and slowed. You'll need to cut your way through it.
I will.
Alright. The rest of you can hear the sound of snapping vines and the grunts of exertion from Marlowe.
You over here?
I continue to travel along the edge of the city.
I'm following her
Around and
kind of at a
everything.
distance.
Hold on. When you get to about here, you can see that there are old, torn banners in this area. You don't recognize any of them.
Banners that used to exist. What do they look like?
The entire party feels a shift. There is a pulse of energy far from the back of this mysterious place, and it pulses outward.
Marlowe, what are you cutting?
I'm trying to get through to that building in the back. There's vines on the path.
No, all right. Did you feel that?
Yeah.
All right. Maybe
If
less
you,
cutting, more flying.
If you find a piece of paper or parchment or anything, try to look for a date on it.
Will do.
All right. Most of this is dust, and like becoming dust. We will try our best.
Just keep it in mind. It might not be a wear but a win type of situation.
We need help here.
Yeah. Unless you saw a better path around here.
No, I was actually just
you
looking
guys,
for you.
you guys need to slow down. Like,
I'm trying to keep
Jesus
up with
Christ!
them.
Like,
Just like wandering.
all right. When you get to this
It's a
point, make
road.
perception checks.
Following the road.
Like, the party gets in here and immediately splits, and now I have to go back and forth.
I'm sorry. I'm just following them.
All right, when you get to about this point, you can see. You can see here there are some discarded weaponry, some of which appears to be strange in form, taking the form of weapons that you've never seen. You can see sets of blades that seem to be attached to gloves, indicating that they are worn alongside, perpendicular to the wrist, all the way up to the elbow. You can see weapons that have strange curves to them. A staff in 3 different sections connected by a chain. You also see other armors that you do not recognize. The items are long since rusted by the mist and do not look as if they could be used. That is what you see. Chrome, you and Marlowe break your way through the vines until you get to this point, where you can see a massive building that has collapsed in on itself.
Thank you, Chrome.
No problem.
Yeah.
Let's continue forth.
Wait, what'd you say?
Let's continue forth and investigate what's going on here.
Yeah. Marlowe will kind of walk over the rubble looking for books or any kind of parchment to that would date this place. But most importantly, seeing if there's just a path that leads forward through it.
Make a perception check. You don't see anything.
As we're over here, can I take down like one of the banners with enough of a scrap of a symbol on it or anything?
So as you turn back and you take a closer look at the banner, Telry, you notice something that you didn't notice before. Something when you studied the the martial aspects of this fortress, you see a flash of vision through the mist. Someone you don't recognize, or even the features that you can see of, stand with the banner held above their head before struck from behind. Falling forward, the banner implants itself into the ground. The vision of the person fades back into the mist, but the banner yet still remains.
I'm gonna cut enough of it that I can tell a symbol and wrap it up and stow it.
Okay.
It's not parchment and it's not anything in writing, but it is a symbol and it's something. Marlowe might want to see it later.
I'd just continue along.
Yeah, we're just going
weapons
over here.
Is there any dead bodies I can see, or any bodies?
When you get to this point, over here,
Oh, sorry.
you guys see that the buildings just kind of continue to collapse in on themselves, and they were once shops, you think, but you're not quite sure. Shops to what? And your questions? Sorry.
Oh, is there any bodies or any
You have seen no corpses.
yeah. Hmm. Perhaps
Hey,
they, go on.
Well, I was just gonna ask you. You get the itch, the sticky fingers. You seem quite thoughtful. Not that you're not able to be thoughtful, but I just don't really,
Thoughtful as in
But yeah, the last time no, not that. The last time I saw you like this was when you were by the cairns.
It's a little bit of that, and honestly, a place this much destroyed is you kind of wonder what did this. So I'm just trying to see any evidence of
You feel another pulse coming from the back.
this direction.
No. From the building in the center.
building.
The building in the back.
Oh,
All right,
Well-
let's make our way towards that. Should we meet up with the others around?
they went the left side, so I think we could cut straight through. We might meet them on the left.
All right, yeah, let's head back.
We
and
should
loop
probably
around.
go figure out what that is, but I'm afraid of shouting.
I didn't detect anything nearby, so
Does this place
Either-
feel safe? Kind of like how the Toad King's place felt safe?
I
no,
don't feel
this,
safe here.
this feels more empty.
Oh, there they are. Hey. Did you guys find
How are
anything?
Oh damn.
Did you guys find anything interesting?
Just more ruins.
We keep feeling something coming from the north.
Pulses, some sort.
Yeah. Guys, they came to us.
Alright, well, I see some stairs ahead. Let's head up. Dragging our feet when there's weird magical pulses doesn't exactly,
And Knarh's
Oh,
drawn to that. Continue along
Stairs.
the edges of the circle.
we go up some stairs.
Well, there's this
I'm gonna
path.
check the front door.
Yeah, I follow Marlowe.
Alright,
Not up the stairs?
Okay.
No.
We should stick together, guys.
Yeah, I like the path.
sure.
Okay.
the same architecture as the original door?
Yes.
It's open.
When you get to this point, you can see that the door ahead was once proud, like the door on the outside, but it is broken and cracked. You see that there were 7 visages on the stone door, but each of them have faded. The mechanism that no doubt supported the outer door is broken upon the inner door. The stone shattered. Entering this room is not difficult. You must simply dig your way through the shattered stones.
Hup.
Right.
I start
Telry.
going rock away. What? You want in, don't we?
Yeah. This is one of those adult situations. If you get the temptation to destroy or take or something, do your best to think about it and then think about it again, and then share it.
I'll share it.
I'm a bit lost for thought. I probably am not making much sense, but do you understand what I'm trying to say?
You make sense, and I understand. If I get an inclination, or if I think something needs done, I will clear it with the party.
We moving these robots all the way?
I'll help.
Marlowe will jot down the rough sketches of the visages.
Digging. Lift. Like those ant colonies on Facebook.
Yeah.
All right. As you work at the stone, trying your best to clear the path, each stone that you overturn, seems to keep breaking. Like each time you pick it up, the age of the stone really gives way and crumbles in your hands, depicting the age of such a place. Eventually, however, you are able to make your way through. And what you find on the other side, strange, but somehow familiar. Familiar in a way that you're not even sure that you could explain to yourself, much less each other. Inside, you see a temple. Temple with broken pieces of the ceiling, shattered defensive parapets and armaments, and in the center a series of 7 statues, broken and shattered amongst themselves, each one bearing a plaque. And in the center, a basin of water, its purpose lost to the destruction that was reefed here. What do you do?
Marlowe will take a stone that crumbles into dust, and he'll wrap up some of that dust. He'll put it in his pocket.
You guys want to take a dip?
No.
No, probably
Is there
not.
still water in the basin?
No, it is long since.
Oh, sorry. I heard water was in.
No. Its function long since lost. It's cracked and broken. At this point, however, while staring at it, there is a pulse outward from the basin. Visibly, you can see that around where each of the statues are standing, you can see misted forms form and present themselves, saluting towards the center. And then the pulse fades as quickly as it began.
Knarh begins to move towards where the water basin is.
Marlowe will head towards. Are the statues equidistant around?
They are, and they are within this inner area here.
Okay. Oh,
As you move
Marlowe will head
towards
to
it,
one of the statues.
as you move towards the Knarh, you can see that there are 7 plaques before these 7 shattered statues, and in the center, the cracked basin no longer contains water within it. However, there is writing upon the edge of the basin, and it says in the common tongue, "Blessings to the travelers of the 4th era."
See anything in there, Knarh? What's making the pulsing?
Can I make an Arcana check on that?
Oh, hold on, that's wrong.
I wrote it down.
Hold on, that's also wrong. There. Yeah, you can Arcana check.
Alright, here we go. 18.
Around this, you can see magic lingers here even still, but it is a magic that you have never seen before. A strange magic, old, ancient, watchful.
Marlowe will read the statue that is closest to him. If there's any inscription on it or what it looks like.
There is. The one closest to you appears to bear the heraldry of Saphira. You can see that what piece of the statue has yet remained appears to be a kindly-looking man in simple clothing. And underneath his plaque, it says, "The Merchant." Telry, you see a set of stairs leading down. Where they lead, you have no idea.
Does it look dark down there?
It does.
Guys, there's stairs that go down below.
Let us explore that, but maybe one more minute.
Yeah.
Marlowe will do a lap and is inspecting the names
You would
written on
like
the
to read all the
statues.
plaques.
Yeah.
All right. Starting with Saphira, it says "The Merchant." The next city is Cather Nagloin, which says "The Wizard." Above that, you can see the makings of a male, perhaps elf, wearing long and flowing robes. The next, you see a statue cleaving in twain, but its 2 halves you can put together a picture. A fierce-looking woman wielding 2 serrated swords. Gwen's Gambit, and underneath that, the Gladiator. Next, you see the front of this statue has fallen away, but the back depicts that of a warrior in heavy plate. It says, Mournhowl, the Knight. The next statue is perhaps the least damaged of all of them. You see a beautiful woman. Her hair long. She wears holy vestments, medium armor. And in her hand she wields what appears to be light itself. And beneath, it says Aldafife, the Cleric. Next, you see a hooded man whose arms have fallen away. And beneath that statue, Isola, the Assassin. However, you can't tell the gender of the mysterious person. And next, you can see a statue that is nearly completely destroyed, save for one piece that remains. Sitting atop the platform of the statue, the only piece of it that remains are the head and a hand. The hand is made out of black obsidian, a different material than the rest. And the statue's head contains a cracked eye. Beneath it, it says Zyracost, the Black Hand. That is all. As you turn to leave Marlowe, there is another flash, a pulse from the center. And within the center, you can see a strange object just for a moment appear in the mist. And then all around you, each of the statues are instead the misted personage that they represented, looking towards the center. And then it fades into the mist. Everyone sees that, by the way.
What did the Black Hand look like?
Robed. Difficult to determine. Possibly orc. However, the cleric's visage you recognize, for you have seen her holy paintings throughout texts, cathedrals, and painted glass, all throughout Corvanis. The cleric is Matheria.
Heart sink a little. That's her. The cleric one. You've seen the depictions, you've seen the statues, that's her.
Wait, why is she just one of many? And
Telry, unless there's something you need to do here, or any ideas you have, we should reconvene about this later. We are running out of time.
Agreed. I'm not touching anything. I'll put my hands up. I'm not touching.
Well, when it pulses and they're all looking in the center to the basin, is there anything in the basin when they blink? Or?
Yes, an object floats above it. You cannot tell what it is, and it only appears for a brief moment.
What do you think of us trying to grab it, Telry?
Not.
Luke?
Do you
sorry,
guys
Marlowe.
think that would be a good idea?
Luke's RAM is fucking blue screening.
I am attempting to use mending on cracks in the basin.
So, casting spells, I see.
Yes, I am.
Alrighty. Which one?
The basin in the middle.
All right, you summon forth your magic, and slowly you begin to mend the basin. As you fix the cracks, it fills with water.
Oh. I don't even have to fill it.
Marlowe will look at Knarh, say,
I'm gonna.
this is wise. Might I join you?
Sure. Statue. I
Make
head
me an
over towards
Arcana check, Marlowe, as you gaze upon Knarh, even if you don't have it trained. You notice that upon casting of her spell, not a hint of exposure.
Oh,
Marlowe will, sort of in a rhythmic distance from Knarh, also begin to cast Mending.
I begin to mend the cleric as Marlowe works on one.
I'll work on, zero cost.
As you cast Mending upon zero cost, and I presume keep casting it, slowly you begin to piece together, piece by piece, that which was broken, until finally you can see the statue fully restored. And you see something that only you, as a foreigner, could understand. You're not quite sure what he is, but you can see that there is a crack within his eye and around his neck, a necklace, and upon it, a 7-pointed star.
Marlowe will get quite solemn. He will touch this statue. He will say a prayer to himself. Say, thank you for your watch, traveler.
There is no response from empty stone. Only the reminder of what must be given for the good of all.
You guys don't mind if I touch the water?
Just hold off from the blinking thing. I'm trying to spot what it is. But I won't tell you no.
I noticed you kind of looked at me a bit weird. Did you need a hand with that, or did you prefer to do that on your own?
I begin mending the cleric. I'm good.
Understood.
Slowly, you begin to mend and mend and mend. The stones finally seal up. The cleric is fully restored, and the light within her hand is also restored. And what you see is an effigy of a 7-pointed star.
I will take the the holy symbol of Matheria I've been carrying, and I will place it at the bottom of the statue. And prepare to move
It's
to
at
the
this
next
point
one.
that there is a pulse. Once more, the visages that appear around each of the statues appear once more. The ones that appear within the actual statues that have been fully restored, you can see, do not appear, but instead, their statues light. A point of light goes outwards from their symbols towards the center. And in that brief moment, you can see that something is being built in the center. Incomplete. Half corporeal. Whatever it is, it appears to be an orb. Or something similar.
Gruul, don't touch that.
You're fine. I have discipline.
I am also way over here.
The rest of the statues. Let's try and get them up. Yeah?
If we are to touch that, can we do it on my command?
I am a hunter. Patience is part of my job. Tell me when.
Telry, will you be ready?
Do you think it should be touched at all?
Yes.
Why? What makes this touchable?
I don't know.
I'm not trying to make a thing of this. I need to know why you think so. Is it intuition? Is it hundreds of years of feelings? I don't know.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of feelings. I feel that this is an impossible place of sorts. It is a domain of memory.
Huh.
I've never seen anything like this.
Me.
So I'm not worried about, well, touching it I think is the easiest way to figure out what something is.
Yeah. I'm ready when you're ready.
No, I'll touch at your command.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Marlowe will move on to Saphira.
I'm gonna do Gwen's Gambit.
Piece by piece, they are restored.
I would feel best, Telry, if you didn't grab it. Just saying.
Gruul.
I understand.
Yeah.
As Saphira is restored,
Fine.
you can see the merchant. And the merchant, upon feeling fully restored, is holding a small chest, and it is opened, and there you see the symbol of a 7-pointed star. As Gwen's Gambit is restored, you can see the fierce gaze of the gladiator, her weapons drawn, and on her forehead, an etching of a tattoo that the original individual must have once had of a 7-pointed star.
Move to Mournhowl.
I will take Cathair.
Are these objects stone?
Yeah.
Okay.
As you restore Mournhowl, the full regal visage of the knight, upon which the helmet of there is a crown, and on the pommel of his greatsword, a 7-pointed star. As Cathair is restored, you can see the semblance of an elf bearing robes that seem to carry with it a strange symbology. Upon them are writing that you do not recognize. Writing you recognize, well, you cannot read it, but you recognize it as to be of the style and script of the town of Hykio. The book that the wizard wields has upon its cover a 7-pointed star.
Star seems important.
I can agree to that.
Just going out on a limb here.
The last one, Knarh, that'd be
Isola.
All right. Upon restoring the heavily cloaked figure, you reveal a feminine face hidden between cloth. And you see that in her hands are shurikens that are 7-pointed stars.
I turn and I look back to the center of the room.
Are we missing a statue?
no.
Oh,
Now might be our chance to look downstairs.
Should one of us stay up here?
Yeah. If it pulses again, shout. If we don't feel it. Or just shout in general if it pulses again.
Oh, you'll feel it.
who's staying behind?
I can wait. That's preferred.
As much as... Oh, alright.
Telry,
I don't mind.
What?
into the shadows.
You're a bit better with magic. Perhaps let me stay here in case they find anything spooky.
You don't want me to stay with the magic and everything?
I mean, do you think you're safe with the magic?
Nothing's happened so far.
Alright, well, I'm staying here. Wait, watching.
There is a flash of energy, a pulse from the center. And this time, all of the statues are restored. The basin is filled. And at the center, the orb forms into a glass bead. And in the center of that, a strange key. As the energy fades, the orb maintains its physical form and plops into the water of the basin.
Oh. It's done.
Meanwhile, downstairs.
This
It's,
happened before you guys left.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
He'll point to the basin. It's floating in there. Looks like a key.
I reach out a hand.
Wait,
Is it good?
I don't know. That was the sixth pulse.
Hmm.
Oh.
I think we wait for the seventh.
I'll wait.
Alright.
What does the key look like?
The key appears to be made out of an iridescent sort of quartz. All sorts of colors can be seen being split. A prismatic array that fills the orb. The pommel of the key is that of a 7-pointed star.
Oops.
Nope. Chrome round.
We lost him.
Does the Wi-Fi give out again?
He'll be back.
Ah.
I will enjoy the piano music till then.
He's back. Yay.
Back.
Sorry.
It's so good, man.
Did you hear what was being said?
No, I just heard we left at the way at 7 pulse.
Oh, yeah. Basically, we just looked at the key, the descriptions in the
Okay.
notes. No, I guess it's something new. While we wait for the other pulse, he's gonna pull out the acorn, see if there's anything going on with it.
No.
When the 6th pulse happened, was there any noticeable? Well. Oh, okay.
So I guess we just kind of sit around and wait to see if there's a 7th pulse.
Yeah.
No, I don't think there is a 7th pulse.
All right. Want me to grab it?
Mm.
Want Chrome to grab it?
I'll
He's
grab
not
it.
grabbing it. Oh.
We all touch it. I don't know.
So who touches it?
Marlowe will grab it.
All right. You grab the orb. It is heavy, cool to the touch. It is glass. Or at least you think it is.
All set? Any... Good.
Sad.
Were those clicks?
No, that wasn't anything. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Panic.
Adding it to my fucking red string wall.
So do we head downstairs now?
Yeah. Unless there's something else up here that we're supposed to find.
I'll hold this here if you guys, in case there is a 7th pulse, but I actually don't think there will be. If there's something scary down there, you can shout, and I'll join you.
Okay.
You sure you should be alone with the crazy magical MacGuffin?
I don't know what a muffin is, but
You don't know what a muffin
You
is?
want to leave him with the crazy magical oak?
I mean, preferably, yeah.
All right. Go
All
keep
right.
Telry alive.
wait, are you the crazy magical orc?
Just kind of stares blankly at you.
Marlowe is weeping to himself, but trying to keep as much of a masculine composure as possible.
Dang. Who kicked you in the nods?
It's allergies.
Okay. So the three of you head down.
Yeah.
Yep.
Eventually, as you walk through the darkness, you come to a door. And in this door, you can see there contain 7 different murals. Each one is an artistic rendition of each of the cities listed, and very much appear to be that of the cities that you've heard through histories. Save for one. Zyrakost lies at the center of the demon wastes, surrounded by the mountains on all sides. Except it is not a wasteland, but rather a massive series of calderas, beautiful springs, and lush, verdant forests.
Hmm.
These are just paintings, right?
They are. The door remains closed.
And there's just one door. Sorry.
Correct, there is
Right?
one door.
Yeah.
And there does not appear to be a handle or any other mechanism to open it.
Maybe we touched the painting.
Or we need the ones with the keys. If the key is
That would
relevant,
make
I
more
imagine it is.
That would make more sense.
Also, I hate to touch
Things.
any of the paintings and then learn that I've ruined them, and then the bard will be mad at me.
Hold.
I don't know.
There is a pulse. The energy focuses through the entire area. A strange keyhole appears in the center of the door, observed by you three. Marlowe and Knarh. The orb, its glass melts away, leaving the key to fall to the ground. The statues all around you, each one by one, begin to crack and tumble to the ground.
No.
Except one. The cleric of Aldafife. Her visage slowly turns to look upon you.
Marlowe will grab the key as quick as possible and look to Knarh and say, I think we run.
Oh, wait, down here, guys. The pulse revealed the keyhole. He'll yell up the stairs.
I kind of push Marlowe. You, move. I look at Matheria.
Statue turns. It gazes upon you with eyes of stone. But you feel something else. An intense desperation. The statue lifts its hand as if to strike and fades into dust.
Knarh!
Yeah. Join you in a sec.
You left her up there by herself?
We
What if-
panicking now? Some bad
She
happened?
told me run.
Marlowe's a key.
There's nothing but dust where the statue was.
Dust and stone.
I pick up the holy symbol of Matheria I left there. I'm sorry for whatever happened.
As you join your comrades, you stand at the bottom of the stairs, the muraled door before you, and the keyhole now present.
You, right there, Luke? Or Marlowe? Keep saying
Neither are okay. Marlowe will take mental images of the tapestries, give them a good look. Not spend too much time studying the detail, but they correspond with the... Are they the cities or the people?
They are the cities.
Alright. He'll stick the key in the keyhole.
You place it within the keyhole. As you do so, you can feel a great weight come over you. Your body grows tired. Your blood feels almost desperate. What do you do?
Am I seeing the fog?
Yes. Colors shift.
He will turn the key.
You turn the key. Moments before it is too late. As the key turns, the door shifts, and slowly it opens. And what awaits you on the other side, you'll find out next time on Sagas and Solace.
Moments before it's too late. Man.
All right, good sesh, guys.
It was good.
Yeah.
Good lord.
Oy, oy, oy.
You,
Was that it?
Sorry, we're decompressing. That was a lot.
Right.
The amount of
God.
fog when I hear music. It's like, I know that tune.
We just- So is this like a Alter the Local 7 or something?
Yeah, you'll find out. All will be revealed.
In 2 weeks.
Next time.
On Dragon Ball Z.
Oh my word.
You okay, Luke? You're kind of quiet right now.
Yeah, I can't really think straight.
The answer is no.
What a change of pace. My goodness.
All right, time for some fan art. Oh shit! Is that a poster for the boys?
Oh goodness.
This is amazing, dude.
I love it.
Oh, hell yeah.
I was sitting in a Zaxby's with Essie today, and I was like, what should I draw? The boys.
No,
And
you
Knarh.
beat him.
Yeah, that's so badass.
One of the boys.
It's actually a really great picture. Like it's so good.
Thanks, guys. I had fun.
Look at him. Look at them all. I like how he's holding the rock. It's pretty funny.
Like, yo, the stone.
The stone! I like how everybody's chibi and Telry is just the same.
He's just Telry. He hasn't changed. He's exactly the same.
He's pre-chibied.
Brazil mentioned.
Brazil.
Oh.
Meanwhile, in Knarh's heart, you're the chosen one! You said you would not join them?
Nice.
I loved you.
Safe.
What a good one to land that on. Very cool.
You get to 10 exposure, Telry. You can save Padme.
You can save Padme! Who? I mean Knarh.
Do it.
Do it. Oh man. You know how long I've been sitting on that lore, dude?
Oh, boy.
I didn't even know where to begin with that.
Oh yeah.
And of course, as per always, the door puzzle is our greatest enemy.
We're just like banging our heads against it.
Now,
I was just touching everything.
now all the pieces slowly start coming together. Oh yeah.
All the amount of knowledge that I just learned, and
Now's the payoff for all those red string boards.
Telry and Waymaker both continue to be completely oblivious. Woohoo!
I was right.
Nice.
I'm worried
We're
about
gonna-
Luke.
It's
I'm worried
worse than what I
about
imagined.
Luke, dude. Are you okay, Luke?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right.
He's recovering.
It's a whirlwind. I was like tearing up at a bit, and I was like, "Fuck, man, what a thing to do."
Marlowe.exe has crashed. Please restart your Luke.
Good
I
stuff.
think there was an amount of tearing up on multiple ends on this one.
I love that moment where everyone tensed when she's like, "I'm gonna cast spells," and it's like, "Aren't you?"
Wait.
I was like, no, it's meant to, and I don't care.
I was handing her a purging potion, and she pushed me away.
Alrighty, that's where I'll call this session.
my
So
goodness.
you guys are officially on a 2-week break. I have to finish my games tomorrow, and then they'll be on break, and then I'll be on official break until like the 16th.
Nice. I'd ask the ever important "what did we affect" question, but I think we all know.
I will tell you, I actually can't answer that yet because you guys have a lot to do.
Excellent.
Like it's
We're not done yet.
it's gonna
So
be
everybody,
it's gonna be a lot.
You gotta come back and stay tuned, because otherwise you'll only know if we do. Haha.
I mean, technically, we haven't done anything because we were supposed to get a library book from this one dead dude.
That's true.
Like, not even
Yeah,
close
remember
to
that point where we
why
guys
we
said we're gonna go
don't
do our mission, and then we didn't do it.
What was
This is why you don't
let
get
us here.
lost.
Yeah, I thought you had a compass.
Hey, look, I went towards
Look,
the river.
you
the
guys-
river wasn't there.
You guys were the first group to go to the east to walk through the thin veil. All right, shit's coming. All right.
Hey, this is all you in chat. Next season, you should stick around for that. Watch Sagas do some shit.
Alrighty, bye bye everybody, bye chat, bye.
Chat.